What's happening, everyone? My name is Adrian and welcome back to What the Pun. So, it's been 2 weeks since I received the delivery of my very first EV, the Peugeot E208 GT line. This was only made possible through the EV subscription service from On2. So, 2 weeks in, how's it been taking out an EV subscription service through On2? Well, if you're out there on the market looking to try out an EV and you're not looking to put down like a long payment plan for 24 or 36 months or whatever, or even commit to actually having to buy one, then definitely look into On2. In terms of the whole experience with On2, I have to say they've been pretty awesome. I mean, I'm a huge fan of businesses that keep good, clear communications with their customer, and On2 definitely deliver on that point. For example, from the whole process of when I started my order with On2 to the delivery information, they have kept me very well informed. Like when the day I was receiving the delivery of the Peugeot, they sent me a web link on the day so I can keep track on the map as to whereabouts the location of the car was, so I have a better idea as to the exact time when the car would arrive. Charging. I'm very happy with the charging options On2 have included with their subscription service. So that would be the charging service, from the likes of Shell Recharge, BP Pulse, InstaVolt. So with that included, it's given me a lot more options within my surrounding area to rapid charging options for the Peugeot. Without this, I'd probably struggle to find decent charging options for the Peugeot. If I was just limited to one, I may have to travel a bit further out to get access to a rapid charger, and it means, when I'm out and about doing much longer journeys, I have a few more options in terms of rapid chargers on the way to my destination. Customer service. So I actually had to call the On2 customer service team because I had a problem with the car, the Peugeot. It wasn't a problem with the Peugeot itself. The car has, touch wood, been fine, but it was actually to do with how the On2 digital key was being recognized by the car. So with On2, when you take out a subscription with them, they also advise you to download the On2 app, which is also your digital key. It also tracks the location of the car and tells you the battery status and also how much mileage you've done with the car during your subscription. So the problem I had was that the digital key on the app was no longer being recognized by the car. The problem I had is that the car was still on whilst the key was not recognized. So I wasn't able to turn off the car or do anything at all. For some reason it was locked, so I couldn't go into park, drive, neutral, reverse, anything at all. So I had to call the On2 customer service team, which was amazing. They're on it like a car bonnet. So I called them up. They did a few things remotely. So what they did eventually in a very short space of time was they did a remote reset of the car, so that it resets the the module they have to connect with the key. Once that was done, my digital key was recognized by the car again, and I was up and running again. So that didn't take too long. It was a quick call. There wasn't a long wait in a queue over the phone. Literally called them up. They answered within 5 minutes, and they sorted me out. So definitely a 10 out of 10 for their customer service. Which brings me to my first tiny problem with my first EV experience with On2. So I would highly recommend, if you're planning to take out a EV for the first time with On2, is to request for a normal key with your order as well. So I don't know if it was just an experience with my car being a bit glitchy, but what I found is that with the digital key on the On2 app on my phone, it's been very unreliable, so a lot of times it's not being recognized. I may have to close the app, relaunch the app a number of times before the car would recognize that my digital key is near the car. Sometimes you may have to send the unlock signal to the car from the app quite a number of times before it would actually eventually unlock the car. And then once you get into the car, you may find that the key's not recognized, so you can't start the car. So then you're sat in the car, you try to lock it and then unlock it again, so then the car would eventually be recognized. So to make your life easier, if you're going to take out a car with On2, just make sure they supply you with a normal key, just so everyone's happy. So the last thing I would say is a bit of an issue with On2 is the delivery time on some of the vehicles. So if you have a look online on On2's website, they do have quite a nice selection of EV cars available, but the problem is that with some of them, the delivery times can take quite a long time. So you could be looking at anywhere from well over a month or close to 2 months on some vehicles. Some of the other ones you could be looking at least 2 weeks. So if you do plan to take out a vehicle with them, just make sure you plan ahead so that you know when's the best time for yourself to have the delivery of the vehicle. So if you're definitely check it out before you start making a booking, because if you're expecting the vehicle to be delivered to you within a few days, definitely don't expect that. So overall, I love the service that On2 are offering. It's definitely a new way to do car ownership, because everything's all inclusive. Charging service, insurance, breakdown, that's something just off your mind basically. So they've got that covered. And if I was to do the same thing, like use a car rental service, you do have loads of options out there as well at the moment. And for the same duration of time as I'll be taking out this Peugeot, it would cost so much more, so much more. So it's what On2 are offering. It's a great way to try out an EV for a decent duration of time, just to see how it works with your lifestyle. And if you're someone that gets bored of having the same car, then it's definitely something to check out, because they have a decent selection of EVs on their platform. Anyways, that's it from me this week. I'll catch you next week, where I will do a full review of the Peugeot E208 GT line. So make sure you're subscribed, click on that notification bell. That's it, and goodbye.